Hi, this is Charlotte from Delain, and you are watching The Age of Metal.
Happy tears fade fast, sad tears tend to last. You've got your blood-stained heart and your nicotine-stained hands, and your 29 years did not help you pass all the roadkill, cheap thrill, obstacle-filled path. Bright as our darkness, you close your tear-stained eyes to your silver-lined madness. After 29 years, you might want to confess that we have made a fucked up place that I cannot.
I think we were all very much anticipating the show, so I was even feeling a little bit nervous. I think it went well. In the beginning of the show, there was still some people coming in, so it was like, well, I hope they let everybody in fast enough. But at the end, we had a kind of a full house, so that was very exciting. We did the gathering with Marco, which got everyone standing up. We got standing ovations. So yeah, I just hope we won some new souls tonight.
How do you look into the mirror?
Very well, actually. Like, we've been on several tours now, and I must say that on all the tours that we've done in the USA, you know, with Kamelot, with Sonata Arctica, and with Nightwish, we've been getting very warm welcomes from the audience. And yeah, tonight I think was no difference. I think that the music is very compatible. I think that we have a very nice package going on with us and Sabaton and Nightwish. And yeah, it's good. We notice it from everything, from the way the crowd responds to like the merch sales. It's I think that it's a good move to do this tour, definitely.
Dreamscape in a blanket, silver gray, homesick for a memory washed away.
Well, it is actually, it is quite a challenge, and we've been kind of changing songs and moving stuff around, especially in the first couple of shows. But we've kind of found a set list now that we really think works, and we're still switching something here and there. But it's hard because yeah, when you only have 30 minutes to show who you are, basically. Yeah, it feels like a pretty critical decision. What are you going to play? Because you have to kill so many darlings. But yeah, I like the set list that we have.
Do you guys have some sort of priority system? Which song's gonna go? Which one won't go?
Well, it's kind of, we have a couple of songs that work very well as openers, Mother Machine being one of them. We got a couple of songs that work very well as, you know, end songs. We really like to play Not Enough and We Are the Others at the end, because they just always create this kind of moment. And everything in between is kind of hard, because you want to think like, okay, we want to have some songs where you have a lot of interaction with the crowd, but then again, you also want to. There are some songs that we know that a lot of people really like, but they're not the most interactive ones. They're not the ones where people are screaming, but they're the ones where people are just listening. This is hard to find a balance between those type of songs and like the really party kind of songs, especially in a short set list like this.
It's just sound like murder of crows across the sky. The moon announces.
Well, I think that it's, especially when it comes to playing on a continent which is not yours, it is two things. Well, maybe three. You know, first of all, it's the music itself, and we know that in the US that this Euro style metal has quite an appeal, because there's not a lot of bands doing this in America. And so we always feel that people are kind of very welcoming and grateful in a way for our bands to come over, because I feel that a lot of people do know that it's kind of an investment for the band and that it's not easy to make your first tour. And so yeah, I think that's one of the elements, that it's, you know, it's kind of exotic in a way, because it is a type of music that is very typical for Europe. And then I think that another thing is in the gigs and, you know, around the gigs itself. I do think that, like, to me personally, it gets really personal. I do remember a lot of faces. We do go out to meet everybody after the gig, and this is only our third time that we are here right now. And I already have a feeling with a lot of people, like, hey, it's so good to see you again. And, you know, like, I suck at names, but you remember the faces. And I think that this kind of personal approach is also something that might draw people back. And another thing is very, you know, very less emotional or deep or whatever. And that's just really when you think of the marketing of it. I mean, we've been told you need to do at least 5 support tours before you can do your own headline tour as a European band coming to the United States. And we're on 3 now, so we would need another 2 before we can make that happen. Maybe we can take a shortcut somewhere. Maybe we do the 5. I don't know for sure. But I do think that there just a very simple strategy of coming and coming back and keep coming back, you know, that's very important. I mean, you can say, okay, I'm going to America, and then I'm going 3 years later, and I expect all the people still to be waiting. But you've also just got to make sure that people still remember the last time you were here before you come back. And we're trying to do that now. We're trying to come back as much as we can. And yeah, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope it's working.
It is working. I mean, and the fact that you add that personal touch, it makes more memorable.
I hope so. I mean, for us, for me, it's not so much of a business choice. It's just it's very comforting when you play a venue and you see those faces in the crowd and you recognize them, and just to have that kind of familiarity. I mean, for me, I get a lot of energy from that. You know, oh, I know you, I like you, oh, that's cool, you know. Yeah, I think that kind of personal factor is quite important in what we do. Yeah. Okay, we start with the negative, because I like to end on a positive note. What I don't like is that in a lot of venues they have these restrooms, and it's like between the door and the wall is like this big of a gap. It's a total lack of privacy. You see this in the US all the time. It's like, why can't you make a door that closes? Like, I'm trying to have a private moment here. What are you doing? And it's not like we can go home, you know, and go to our own restrooms. This is where we live. Make a decent restroom. This is my message to the USA. So that's one thing. Second thing is, well, I just like the fast food. Just the fact that whenever if you grab a muffin somewhere, it's always too sweet. If you grab a burger, even if it's a black bean burger in my case, it's always too fast. But yeah, those are the 2 things actually. I cannot really think of a third one. And then I love meeting people that we've met before, which I mentioned before, and the scenery. We got to see a lot of the country actually on this tour. We've been to Yellowstone Park. I love how loud the music is everywhere. It's also one of my favorite things. I love Portland. Portland's my favorite city. I love a lot of things. Like, the things that I love outweigh the things that I hate, like, very much.
We are sinking the ship now. This midnight.
I think first half of next year. I think so. Yeah. That's what we're hoping for.
So you guys are working on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once upon a time behind us.
Well, I must say, like, first of all, it was just a very unfortunate event. Otto was in a lot of pain. I mean, if anyone didn't catch it, we have these confetti shooters on stage, and they hit him right in the manhood, and he actually ruptured one of his testicles. There was like, they had to remove like 3/4 of liters of blood from his manhood, and they had to stitch him up, and it was just pretty bad. And the thing is that, of course, it hurt a lot, but it could have also had like long-term consequences for him. When the word got out, it kind of got all over the media. And, you know, some of it was actually like, you would hope that that would happen when you have a new album out, you know? Like a lot of things, we were on Dutch national talk shows and evening shows, and it's like, all of a sudden, people are talking about us who never talked about us before. So yeah, I guess you don't really get to choose what you get your moment of fame for. Otto didn't mind so much. At some points, I did get a bit annoyed because, of course, everybody's laughing about it, which is natural. I was laughing about it too. He was even laughing about it at some point because, haha, balls, you know. But some people, I mean, that's us. Some people were like making jokes about it before we even knew that he would be okay on the long-term effects, and that was kind of, I got kind of annoyed with some people who just saw it as one big joke, while A, he was in pain, and B, it could have been something with long-term effects. But I mean, in the end, it got us some good publicity, so that's a good thing, I guess, in a way.
In your face, my face, you breathe, and I breathe.
We want to have some special kind of celebration. At the moment, we're kind of thinking, like, what do we want to do? What do we think is fun? And how can we do it? But of course, the 10 years anniversary of our first record, which marks our first decade in music, it cannot go unnoticed. So there's going to be something special. We are still in the phase of brainstorming about it, though.
You may call me dreamer, call me.
Well, it was actually pretty cool. We were on tour. It was the beginning of this year, and we were on tour with Sabaton, as we are now. And I got an email from Thomas, and he was like, "Hey, how are you? Would you like to do a track on our new album?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. I'll record it as soon as I come home from the tour, you know." And he was like, "Yeah, but the deadline is before you come home." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I started calling all of my friends, you know, around Europe, like all the places that we were going. And I was actually lucky enough to find a wonderful place to record in Athens when we were there. And I got the track from them, and I got their dummies. And oh my God, their dummies are amazing because the vocals, he just sings it like very high, and it sounds amazing. It's like, so he does the dummy vocals for the girls himself, and it was really cool. I was almost sad for them to go, but yeah, I recorded the parts and sent them over, and they were very happy with them, and I got the mix, and of course Troy is on there as well. So we actually met only on this tour, and it was like, hey, nice to meet you. We're on a song together. So that was really cool. And yeah, so it was a very good experience, and I hope that I can perform it live with them soon. So we've got a headline tour coming up in Europe and in the UK, and We've got some plans that I cannot elaborate on yet because they're not confirmed. We are writing for a new record, so that's definitely one of the things that we're going to do. Next week we will actually have the release of a new lyric video, a nice one, might I add. So I'm pretty excited about that. And you know, we're still finishing this tour with Sabaton and Nightwish, and it's amazing. So yeah, we're not sitting still. We have a lot of things to do, and that is fantastic.